So we've just had a parcel arrive of some historic kits. Let's open it, see what we've got inside. So let's see what we've got. Now this box of stuff I bought off a guy off of the Frontline Airsoft selling groups or reenactment groups. Frontline Airsoft do a lot of World War II style airsoft. So I've not managed to get around to playing just yet, but hopefully soon. So let's see what we've got in here. So the first item we have is a set of denim British trousers. These trousers were initially given to British forces as an overall to go over their normal uniform for working inside the tanks, dirty jobs, all that sort of stuff. It was much easier to clean and much harder wearing. Now a lot of forces found them to be a lot easier, comfier to wear, not as itchy, and not quite as warm. So a lot of places, a lot of people started wearing them instead. Let's see what we've got next. Next we have binoculars case. Now I do believe inside we should have, yes, fantastic, some replica binoculars. There we go. Now these are designed to look at least a little bit like some World War II style binoculars. Earlier in the week I got a pair of authentic World War II era ones. These are going to look great, going to go perfect with some of these kits, because I've started to find, especially in Airsoft now, I can't see who's on whose team for a distance. So yeah, binoculars, very important piece of kit for scouting, recon, finding an enemy. I have a nice lovely leather case with them. It's awesome. And some straps to keep hold of. Okay, what do we have next? We have a pair of US gaiters, or leggings as I think they were called at the time. One thing to note about a lot of World War II forces and their boots is a lot of the boots will be low ankle boots, so they come all the way up their ankle, like a lot of modern day combat boots do nowadays. This means they can provide quite the same amount of support. So a lot of forces would issue leggings, anklets, gaiters or puttees. This is a US type. This provides support for the ankle, for the leg, as well as keeping your trousers in and stopping things getting inside your boot, inside your trousers, or crawling up your trousers in the jungle, for example. Don't want any snakes going up there. It's just a really good way. Often as well, if you apply the right coatings with them, so a bit of dubbing, they're going to be waterproof, help keep the water out as well. I quite like these sort of things, even when I'm not trying to recreate a kit, so I like them for hiking. Keeps my legs nice and dry, especially in the wetter weathers. Very cool bit of kit. Next, we have a M1 Garand cartridge belt, although I believe they can also hold Springfield clips. Now, these are designed to hold 10 clips. Right, so you've got 10 little pouches on there. A lot of forces, such as the airborne forces, wouldn't use these ones so much. They tended to use rigger pouches of their own design, which would carry a bit more. However, a lot of forces that use these as well. Now I already have one of these, so I might repurpose this for something else. We'll find out. Next, we have a pair of British World War II era trousers, wool trousers. Now, as you can see, these are made of some quite thick wool. These are extremely itchy trousers. I already have another pair of these, but I wanted another because just in case I'll wear them out, because it can be quite expensive. These wool trousers were actually initially designed off of ski trousers of the 1930s, and I believe these are the 1937 pattern, 1940 these ones actually, sorry. So these ones are a little bit different, a little bit more updated. Pretty heavy trousers, very woolen, very itchy, but very warm, quite decent wearing as well. Another cool little item we have in here now. Now this, if I remember rightly, is a map of around Carentan, a very important battle during the Second World War. You might have seen the battle in the miniseries Band of Brothers. Go. God damn it! Where the fuck is everybody? 101st Airborne of Easy Company I think the other companies are in there. I'm going to have to do a bit more research. I've not looked that up in quite a while. But yeah, this is a nice little map of that area. Good thing for little bits of reenacting, which I'm hoping to get into. Yeah, there we go, Carentan. So yeah, it's very nice bits. Carentan was one of the villages or towns in France. Next we have some US Marine P41, if I remember the name correctly. If I've got that wrong, I'll put that as a little type at the bottom. US Marine P41, or maybe it's P40, I can never remember. Jacket. So we've got the globe and anchor on there, the USMC globe and anchor. Now I do have a very basic US Marine kit that I already play in Airsoft. However, that uses more the later frog camouflage pattern, as it's come to know. I originally wanted to get the green one, but there was nothing in my size when I went to buy all the stuff. So yeah, this is made of a HBT material, herringbone twill, which is much lighter, but I found much more comfortable material. Bit harder wearing as well in some cases. But yeah, it just sometimes fade a little bit, but it's a very nice material compared to some of the old wool stuff that other forces or the units had at the times. To go with that shirt, we have a pair of US Marine trousers in the same green and that same HBT material. Okay, last few items now then. So now we have a US Airborne Garrison cap. This cap will be worn off duty by airborne forces. So whenever they're at barracks or whenever they're on leave, around town, all this sort of stuff. It's a very nice comfortable cap. And of course you've got the parachute on there to signify airborne. Next we have a US canteen cover. Now I love just these canteen covers because they are very useful, very utilitarian. They were worn on almost by all forces. This one looks a little bit different. It's not got the markings and looks slightly smaller. So I'm going to have a look into this, see if it's something a bit different, because I know there were a few different models. I know that apparently some Marines had some different types of ones, so we'll look into this, see if there's anything different. But yeah, sometimes these will be repurposed as grenade pouches as well. Penultimate items, so I've got one or two after this, are some World War II era trouser braces for British trousers. One thing to note is not all forces or units or soldiers were given belts at the time. A lot of people were given braces like this to hold up their trousers. In some ways, these work a lot better. As they hold them up nice and easy, keep it a bit comfier, take the weight off your legs, as well, off your legs, off your belly. If you've got your belt on and your trousers full of stuff, put support weight on your shoulders. Yeah, nice bit of kits, cotton ones. That up. Last item now then, bit of an interesting one, a Japanese flag. Now of course all the other stuff has been allied, whether that be British or American. What of a Japanese flag? Well, they are amazing trophies. Many troops in the Pacific will try and capture Japanese flags as a war trophy. Okay guys, well that was a very quick little unboxing, very basic one. Hope you enjoyed. Over time we're going to go a bit more into these items and see the history behind them, but now it was just a little quick unboxing. Hope you enjoyed.